Let's put this microphone on. Games get underway at the weekend, so that's going to be interesting how things develop. They sound now. Guys, they should be signed. Should we start again? Oh dear. Oh dear. Didn't press the microphone. Anyway, I'm still here. We'll chat anyway. So yeah, we're going to talk about. I'll start again. We're going to talk about Zinchenko to Napoli. We're going to talk about Koulibaly the other way. We're going to talk about 600 goal Charlie McNeil to United. Otamendi, interest in him, and Liam Delap. What's happening with Liam Delap? Hopefully you can hear me now. Blackpool Blu-ray. And yeah, teething problems as usual in a new. It's not a studio yet. I haven't got a studio, so I haven't got equipment all set up, which is back at my normal place in England. I've got a studio set up there, so there's not much going on. All you do is you turn up, plug the microphone in, and you're good to go. Here, everything's got to be moved around every time you want to make a video. So those are the main things. We'll talk about other bits and pieces. If we want to talk about the women's team, be my guest. Game on Sunday against Brighton at home. If you've seen the video we put out today, if you're very, very thankful for that. If you haven't, please go and have a look. It was just like 25 minutes, the full video. But there was Jenny from City. There was Demi and Natalie from Brighton. Ishak Taraftar, Women's Super League women's teams of great American players, and Sam Lewis and Rose Lavelle. 3 others, Man United with Christian Press, Tobin Heath, Alessia Russo. Without commas, man. Without commas. I've got to work it out. Christian Press, Tobin Heath, and Alessia Russo. It looked like 6 players there for a second. So yeah, you want to talk about cheeky? I put a cheeky video out today. A video about the fans who have been having a go at cheeky, and it's quite sad when you go onto Twitter and you type hashtag cheeky. It's hashtag. There's no hashtag cheeky. It's hashtag cheeky out. That's the one that's trending, and it is really sad. But some of these people who've got big accounts think that's the right way to go. And when you engage with them, I ended up blocking someone yesterday for this, because you engage and they're just one-eyed, narrow-minded. Yeah, they've got their agenda and they're going to stick to it, and it doesn't matter what you say. So he would say, this fella said, I'll go down this route to start with. This fella said that City are very bad when it comes to selling. I can't remember if it was him or somebody that's mentioned Boney and Mangala, that we made huge losses on them. Actually, if you're talking net spend, I don't care. I don't care if you're talking net spend, because net spend is nothing. It means now. We've told you that many times. And I'll be doing a video with Colin, actually, shooting it tonight, once again, telling you that net spend is a waste of time. So we didn't make massive losses. We made losses I think overall. I think Colin told me once, Boney, we broke even in terms of finance, in terms of accounting profit, in accounting terms. But they weren't good. But the thing was, they weren't bad sales. They were bad purchases, Boney and Mangler. They didn't work out as players. Okay. People bring up Sancho's, that Cheeky's made a bad deal on Sancho. No, that's not true. It's not true at all. Sancho had a year left in his contract. We were looking to get 10 million for him. If he'd stayed another year and gone on a free, it wouldn't have been a free. We'd have got a tribunal thing, but it would have been like 300 grand or 500 grand. That's it, because it's in Europe. So it's pathetic. People don't talk about Enis Ünal. Most of these guys have never heard of Enis Ünal. But that's how City made their money. They made over 10 million euros profit on Enis Ünal. What about Aaron Moy? We made probably 8 or 10 million quid on Aaron Moy. What about Angus Gunn? We made best part of 15 million on Angus Gunn. What about Brahim Diaz? We made 15 million on Brahim Diaz, even though they had 5 months left on his contract. So people forget or ignore. It's easy to ignore the big deals that we've made that are a bit exciting. Iheanacho, Is he? Does anybody think he's worth 25 million? So nobody mentions these, but they want to bring up people like Boney, people like Dzeko. We sold Dzeko. I think we sold him cheaply. I was disappointed. But that's what it is. Someone brought up Joe. And they didn't know the facts. I mean, I'm not sure I know the facts, but I've been given some very solid information about Joe. I haven't seen that publicity. Look, I Danny High, GSJ, actually blocked a lot. I blocked some of these people. I engage on Twitter and then I give up. I just block them because they've got an agenda and they're going to stick to it. And I said Mangala, yes, but Mangala was a bad buy. Boney was a bad buy, and the others. Look at all the good ones we've done, and because they're having a go because of Angelino. Now Angelino is gone on loan fee of €2 million. And we might get 18 million in a sale. People are saying, and I understand this point, that Angelino's worth more than that he was in the Champions League squad of the season or team of the season, whatever. And he's worth more. Yes, I think he is worth more. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Do we, and how many of these people complained when we sold Angelino for €5 or €6 million to PSV? And they probably thought we'd have got a good deal for a kid who's never played hardly ever played for us. Been on loan most of the time he was here to places like Girona, I think it's NSC Breda and New York City FC. So he's on loan. So I bet you a lot of these people were really happy that we got good money on Angelino the first time round. Second time round, when we bought him back for about €6 million, we're selling him for overall 20 million. It's good money, it's good profit. What does anybody know? Does anybody know that if there was a deal, because Angelino coming back, he'd have been concerned about playing. Why is he coming back to City if he's not going to play? So there may have been a gentleman's agreement or something in his contract to say, if you're not had enough games after 6 months, you can go on loan. There might have been an agreement in his contract to say, if someone is interested in you can go for €20 million. That might be an agreement in the contract. So you might say he's worth 40, but if you've got done a deal with him to sell him for 20, how can you renege on that deal? So we don't know. We don't know the ins and outs. We don't know about what goes on with some of these sales. Sometimes, do we need the money? City is self-sufficient now. So do we sometimes make a sale quickly, get the business done so that we know we've got money coming in, so we know we can balance the books, so we know we can go out and make some purchases that we want. City are self-sufficient. They want to balance the books. So you've got to adhere to FFP and balance the books and stay self-sufficient. So, the people who have a go at cheeky, I'm sorry, it's pretty sad. I'm sitting, excuse me, guys. Okay, let's go through some of this. Alex Zinchenko. Apparently his agent is open to a Napoli offer in Man City negotiations with Koulibaly. Now, look, we've not managed to sort that out. And it's been going on all summer long. People have been having a go cheeky for it as well. Anyway, a proposal to take Alex Zinchenko to Napoli as part of the deal for Koulibaly would be heard according to the agent of the Manchester City player. It's really, really very interesting to hear that. Now, look, Zinchenko, he started last season, first choice left back, failed to make it his own. And in the last 14 games after lockdown, he only started 3. I think we finished with Cancelo starting, I think 4. Now, Angelino did really well, obviously, at RB Leipzig. But with Joao Cancelo playing there in a few weeks, Mendy's probably, knocking on the door as well. It's, Zinchenko, is it time for him to move on? He had options before with the Betis and the Wolves, and he turned them down to stay and fight for his place, which actually worked in his favour. And he became a centurion and formidable winner. But apparently Napoli have shown interest in Zinchenko in previous years. His agent, Alan Prudnikov, has indicated that they would not instantly rule out a move if that was introduced in the Koulibaly talks. He said, Zinchenko in the Koulibaly negotiation? He is on the radar of Naples. 3 years ago, there were meetings, he told Radio Marte. But for this, we have to ask Koulibaly's agent, of whom we have the utmost respect, as well as the Manchester City management. What if City called me to include Zinchenko in the negotiation? If it were to do so, we would listen to Napoli's proposal and try to see what to do. So that's interesting. Look, it doesn't. It's actually happening. He just said we'd be interested to have that chat. Zinchenko in midfield, and it happening, guys. We've got too many midfielders. Even looking at our DMs, we've got Godoin, Rodri, Fernandinho. We've got KDB, Foden, Bernardo Silva. I probably missed somebody out. And then if we do get somebody else like Hussamoa, what chances of Zinchenko in midfield? And at left back, Cancelo's getting that one for him, I think. As number one, Zinchenko needs to play football. Charlie McNeil, you might have heard of Charlie McNeil. Now, Man United are expected to complete the £1.35 million purchase. Well, it's a total, it could rise to 1.35 million of Charlie McNeil. Now, McNeil is 17 years old. We bought him when he was 11, cost us 12 grand from the United Academy. He scored apparently 600 goals at youth level. He's been recognised at international level with a number of appearances for 16s. Now, he's seen his opportunities at under 18s limited at City. Because, to be honest, we've got too many good players. Now, McNeil has opted to reject the offer of a new deal and left the club in June. However, because he didn't turn 17 until this week, anybody that wanted to sign him still had to negotiate a fee with his former club at City or risk a tribunal deciding his value. So United have agreed to pay initial £750,000 for McNeil with a possible 600,000 add-ons. And City, I think, are going to get a percentage of any future sale. So that looks like it's going to happen shortly. Look, he's a United fan. And United have got a lot of players recently. I believe they got Alejandro Garnacho, Marc Jurado, and Alvaro Fernandez, according to the MEM. While Isaac Hansen Aaron, Joe Hugel, Logan Pye, and Radik Vitek. So yeah, look, it happens. I mean, United will take our players, and look, he wants to go back. If he's a United fan, you can understand it. It's a bit disappointing that he's had what City's had to offer. He's taken advantage of that. But it is what it is. You've got to accept it. Now, Liam Delap. Okay? He started off this season, once again, very, very hot. He's 17 years old. He played against Mansfield in the EFL Trophy. Okay? The under-23s were playing there. He played pretty well. He scored a couple of goals. Now, he's got a fair bit of pace, a lot of power. He apparently took them by surprise. But he had a lot of chances. I think he said himself after the game he could have scored 5 or 6. But he scored 2 goals and, he worked hard. He got the win. He's 6 foot. He's over 6 foot. He used to be at Derby. Obviously, the son of Rory Delap, that fellow with the long throws. I think he played at Stoke for a while. But if you watch the highlights, he set up, he made the pass, a great pass for Adrian Benabi, who scored a very well taken goal. But he had so many chances. I think that's the issue. But he scored the 2 late goals, 89th minute. It looked like he'd gone down a cul-de-sac, but he managed to hold off 3 defenders, wriggle away, and shot from the edge of the box to score. In injury time, big error from the Mansfield defender. He tried to head it back to his keeper. Basically, he didn't get a proper head on it, and he fell on the floor. And Delap came, knocked it over the keeper, and volleyed it into the net. And I actually repeat what he said. He said, I was a bit frustrated in the first half. I had a few chances and probably should have taken 1. But you have to keep on going until the last minute. And I scored 2 in the last 5 minutes to get a 3-0 win. That was win that we needed. And the thing is, he's knocking the door. A lot of kids knocking the door. You've got Liam Delap. You've got people like Jaden Braff. You've got Adrian Benabi. You've got Cole Palmer. So there's going to be a lot of people knocking on the door to break through. And, it's what we want. It's a dream. We want to see people coming through. Let's see some comments then. Blackpool Blue, just seen a tweet from the Manchester is Blue Boys. Honestly, a negative Wycap. Look, you can be negative. You can be critical. But I think people, someone said yesterday, you can critique cheeky. I said, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. But at least do some research, at least have some idea about what you're talking about. And if you're talking a load of rubbish, And the problem is, too many people, it's binary. And if they think they're right, they're not going to change their mind. They're not going to listen to reason. They're not going to listen to people who know a lot more about the football finances than they do. And they're not going to listen. It's like somebody 1 + 1 = 3, and you prove to them that 1 + 1 = 2. And what they do is they call you all sorts of names, try and belittle you and say you're stupid. That's basically what happens quite a lot. People do try and make fun of me about when I talk about football finances, and it's like, come on, guys, I used to be an accountant, qualified as an accountant. So I'd like to think I remember. I don't remember much, I've got to be honest, about my accountancy exams or my tax exams, but I remember a little bit. I remember some basics, and it's just pathetic what some people think. When are we actually going to sign a player, Harj? Look, we signed 2 very early on, but it is really difficult right now. And look, if we're trying to break even, if we're trying to, what's the right word? Not break even. If we're trying to be self-sufficient, maybe we just can't afford the extra 10 million or so that Napoli wants for Koulibaly. Just have to wait a bit longer. You've got to remember, we're not getting as. We lost out on some income that we were expecting. Obviously, the COVID situation's come along. We might have lost like 15, 20, 25 million quid there, maybe more. If we lost some money from the TV, giving money back to Sky, we lost some money from gate receipts. And if we're going to lose money this season coming from gate receipts as well, we could lose over 50 million quid. That's what we normally get, 55 million quid on gates. So if we're going to lose 50, 55 million quid there, we have to make up for it somewhere. And it's just going to affect how much you can spend. Hey, Blue Chand, how you doing, buddy? Harj. I thought you were Indian, Harj. I thought you were a Harjinder. Jack Lee, hello, Blues. Sorry, I missed a lot of streams. Hey, no worries, Jack. Zinchenko, Napli, where did this come from? Aaron, it's what is apparently his agent has said. Hi, Faris, what you well. Any news in Koulibaly? Well, the news is that apparently Zinchenko's open to discussions. If he's included, they're open to have a chat with Napoli and City. Who's leaving? Charlie McNeil, 17-year-old kid. He's gone to United. He's basically his contract run out. He scored 600 goals apparently at youth level. He was at City for 6 years, but he came from United. Otamendi, I'll get up to Otamendi in a bit. Zinchenko might be going. Hey, Man City, Paul, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. What's going on? Wagwan. GRX not getting our defence sorted before the league starts. Yeah, it's disappointing now. I would have liked that the defence to have been sorted out a long time ago. Especially, you don't know what's going to happen. Laporte could be injured again. He's obviously had the coronavirus. Is he going to be fit to start the season? And obviously, self-isolating for 10 days. Who knows? Anyway, Koulibaly. Apparently, he is desperate to join City this summer. He doesn't another big transfer, according to reports. Now, the thing is, this is probably his last opportunity. He's 29 years old. Who else is going to come and make a big move for him? Okay. Now, he's our top target. We know that. It's been dragged out all summer long. Now, I don't understand this, but Manchester News are reporting it's understood that City are in no rush to make a move for the Senegal international, waiting instead for Napoli to lower their valuation. Now, club president Aurelio De Laurentiis has repeatedly talked about the potential transfer in the media and claimed that Koulibaly won't be sold unless his asking price is met. Now, apparently, I think he's got coronavirus. He's tested positive, so that COVID-19, so that might throw a flight into the ointment. Now, Naples paper Corriere del Mezzogiorno reports that Koulibaly's desire to make the switch is becoming obsessive. It is claimed that he feels like he has missed out on a big transfer in the past, and at 29 years old, no opportunity to complete a high-profile move, so he doesn't want to let this chance pass him by. However, as I said, De Laurentiis has tested positive for coronavirus and may be able to participate in negotiations. Now, Nicolas Otamendi, he is reportedly wanted by 2 clubs this summer. Now, obviously, where is he in the pecking order? Well, he's behind Laporte, and behind Koulibaly. If he comes over behind Aki, he's behind Stones, he's behind Garcia, he's behind Fernandinho. So, there's no future for him. And in one game against Palace, Pep played Rodri there instead of Otamendi. So yeah, he's a corner. So according to Ebola, not Ebola, Otamendi's former club Porto and Valencia are both keen to bring him back. So he played for both of them, obviously, Porto and Valencia. So they're apparently keen to get him back into either Portugal or Spain. So that's just interesting to see if he disappears over there as well. Anything else, guys? That's all my news. So it's up to you guys to have a chat. Let's have a look. Ishak's talking about the women's team again with Alex Morgan, O'Sullivan. Yeah, I think we talked about her today in that video we put out about the Brighton game. Chelsea Chelsea got Sam Kerr. It's really exciting. Mr. Roll, how has Chelsea been able to spend so much while dealing with all the same losses due to COVID? Mr. Roll, you need to go and have a look at the video I did with Colin today, or it might be out tomorrow. Actually, it's going to be out tomorrow because we've done a video on Jurgen Klopp and his big gob. I need a title for it, and it's like, shut up in your face, Jurgen. I don't know how I'm going to write, but shut it. Leave it out, Jurgen. Jurgen's got a big mouth talking about other clubs. He says he doesn't want to, but he does. He talks about other clubs. So you've got to understand how finances work. Players, even on the what you think at low numbers than you think is right, it helps to make a profit in the accounts, and it's accounting. It's what happens in your accounts. It's not the headline figure. So people saying, how can Chelsea pay 95 million for Kai Havertz? How can Chelsea spend? They could have been spending 250, even 300 million pounds in this transfer window. And people say, how on earth can they do it? There are ways to do it. And, it might be a surprise. And actually, I did an interview with Colin today. It will come out hopefully tomorrow. I've got to edit it. That talks about how you can spend 200 or 300 million pounds, and it actually might not hurt you that badly. You just need to know about who's leaving, which players have left, what were their wages. If you've had a player on massive wages, and for argument's sake, you could lose Willian. You could have been Willian. Just now, if you've got Ziyech, you've got him in. You got Timo Werner. Let's say Timo Werner's on 80. Ziyech is on 60. I'm just going to put these numbers out. Let's say Kai Havertz is on 120. Well, that's only 216 wages, which is actually less than Willian if William was on 300. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm just giving you an idea. So, getting rid of a high earner like Willian off the books actually might pay for 3 or 4 other players' wages going forwards. So the net effect is there's no difference. So you'll be surprised. You will be surprised how big a difference these things like that can make. Yanni Imucci, did you think City can make the top 4 if they don't sign any players? Absolutely. Yeah. Look, we still managed second, and some of the look how many games we lost better. We miss a lot of chances. It's just be a little bit more clinical, be a little bit more clever at the back, and we'll be on 85 to 90 points. We ain't going to finish out the top 4 with 85 to 90 points. Hard just about winning the title. What do you think will make Liverpool's decline if they fall back? Faris, it's a few things. It's very hard to sustain the level they've achieved. There might be 1 or 2 players who are mentally fatigued or mentally not ready for next season. That might be an issue. There might be a few players who are physically past it. Look, we've all said 2 big injuries can make a huge difference. Let's say there's a huge injury to Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk. Now, we're not saying we want that, but let's say there's big injuries. That's a huge impact. Let's say there's an injury to Robertson and Mane. That's a problem. You lose 2 integral players to your system, very, very good players as well, then it's going to cause you problems. Blue Chand, if we don't sort out defenders out, then I reckon we'll be all right with Blue Chand. Look, with these defenders last season, we still finished second, comfortably. Duffs, what does your accountancy mind say about a no fan season? Does it cause irreparable damage to football? Not irreparable, Duffs. They will get by. Look, if it's just no fans at the grounds, then it will just depend on who you are. Man United could be losing 120 to 140 million pounds. That is huge. That's a huge amount. City would lose between 50 and 60 million pounds. Or we'd miss out on that income. Liverpool did lose on maybe 90 million pounds. So the bigger your match day income, the bigger as you go to someone like Bournemouth when they were here. I mean, they could only fit 11 or 12,000 in the stadium. So, and they probably only played, for instance, if you look at Bournemouth, let's just look at them. They play 19 games in the league. In the cups, they might only play 2, and they might not even be at home. So Bournemouth might be looking at 20 home games a season. Okay, that seems reasonable. And it's a small ground. They're not going to be bringing in too much money. Liverpool, on the other hand, look at them. They're expecting to play 19 home games in the league, 2 or 3 in the cups, get it up to about 22. They're expecting to play 5, maybe 6 in the Champions League. You can play up to 30 games. Look at City, that formidable season. I think we played 61 games. I think it was 30 at home, something like that. So you could expect to play up to 30 at home. Okay. Now, if each game is getting you 3 million quid, for Liverpool, losing 90 million quid. For each game for Bournemouth is getting you 1 million quid, well, Bournemouth could lose 20 million quid. Yeah, that's where it hurts the teams with the bigger stadium, the bigger match day income. Spurs apparently were getting, not last season, season before, I think, £800,000 income just from catering at a home game. That's not profit, but it's income, £800,000 from the bars, the restaurants, and whatever. That's a hell of a lot of money that they're suddenly not getting. And if if your expenses stay the same, then that's a huge problem. Faris, you can't think United are better than us, and we already signed Ake and Torres, plus a lot of our players will be used to the league like Rodri and that's it, Faris. People ignore that fact. When Liverpool didn't really buy anybody last season, and people said, oh, they're going to struggle. I'm like, hang on. They've got a lot of young players who are developing. So you get better, but you expect them to get better by developing people like Trent Alexander-Arnold, people like Robertson, people like Naby Keita or Fabinho. They're young enough to keep developing and getting better. Okay, so they had a bit of that. They had Oxlade-Chamberlain come back from injury, Lallana come back from injury. So it wasn't as if they didn't do any business. Getting Oxlade-Chamberlain back was like having a new signing. Getting Lallana, it's like having a new signing. No matter what quality you think they are, it's like getting a new signing. Hi, Chris Welch. Hope you well, buddy. Guys, I've got another 3 or 4 minutes, and then that's it, because I've got an interview later on, but I've already done 30 minutes. Let's see what else you guys are saying. JRX Klopp will blame the grass or wind if he has to no end to his scapegoating. Chris, Chelsea will finish third. I just think Chris, it depends obviously how quickly it develops. Any updates on Koulibaly? Liban Koulibaly, he's kind of what I've heard before. He's desperate for a big move. He feels it's his last opportunity for a big move, big money move, big club move. I mean, Napoli are a decent side, but they finished 7th in Serie A last season. No Champions League for them. They're in the Europa League, but they moved to City, more money, more prestige at City, let's be honest, and a chance to challenge for big trophies. So I think he's got to be interested in that. And the rumour is that, well, I think Zinchenko's agent has said so. The rumour was that Zinchenko might be going the other way. And his agent has said, if that comes up, we'll talk to Napoli, we'll talk to City. We're not against it. Napoli were interested in him 3 years ago. Faris agreed, I can't see Lampard being the difference for them. No, it's the players will make a big difference. And look, as Klopp did say, it depends how quickly they gel. If they gel after a month, then there can be a challenger because they look, like they've got an awesome team. They've got a new left back, and they've got so much depth and excitement in midfield and attack. It's unbelievable. Faris, what City player you don't think City signed and was never at the level at all? I don't understand that. Yeah, Chris, I think it's City versus Liverpool. You think what City you think? You, I still don't understand that. You have to write it again, Faris. Um, from the way things stand, it's giving me a 24-15. Yeah, don't. I'm not worried, Liban, yet. Chelsea were his goalkeeper, Edward Mendy. No one heard of him. Thiago Silva is 35 years old. Legs may be gone. Well, he was playing for PSG in a Champions League final. Edward Mendy depends where you are. Chris Havertz, Edward Mendy. But yeah, you could argue he's not a big household name. Faris, all the likes of Jesus, Rodri, Foden, Edison, certainly give him many a lot of scope. Like Liverpool had a lot of scope to get the young players getting better and other players getting more acclimatised. Keita will be better this season. Fabinho will be better this season, having had time to acclimatise in the Premier League. And it's the same way. Cancelo finished the season well. Rodri finished it quite well. Mahrez was better second season than the first. Bernardo was better second season than the first. So these people will get better. Chris, even if we don't strengthen furthermore, we got Keita and Minamino, who will feel like new signings. A big season expected from them. Curtis Jones breaking through too. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be worried. That's it, Chris. If you watch it about later, we were talking about the biggest worry for Liverpool is getting injuries. You lose two key players. As I said, if you lose Trent and Virgil, because on the right hand side of your right back and your centre back, that's a big loss. Or if you lost Robertson and Trent, that's where a lot of creativity comes from. So it's interesting. But if you keep players fit, I can't see why you can't really get good numbers again. What players do you think? What players do you think City signed and was never at the level? Well, Mangala, Boney, Wright Phillips the second time around. I don't think he was good enough. He was still all right, but I don't think he was good enough for us then. Nolito, Jesus Navas, Fernando, let's go back a bit, Rocky Santa Cruz. I think that's enough. I don't want to go through anymore. Mangala Haji, yeah, absolutely. It was a miracle last season. Noki, absolutely, Chris. Mr. Roll up Liverpool, a one Salaman injury. I don't think that's no, Mr. Roll. I don't think that's big trouble if you lose one of them, because I think you've got enough players to cope. It might stop you winning the league, but you'll see other people step. An issue to lose players of that caliber, but I think they can get by. Yeah, Jesus Nafas says Fox Williams. About a player signed by Pep. Nolito. I was gassed when we signed Bonnie, but the rest was history. Yeah, Faris. Nolito. I'll say that one straight away. Who else? Can't complain about Danilo. He's not an exciting player, but he was not meant to be an exciting player. Shakira's another one. Still at Liverpool, missed the whole of last season. Absolutely. A Fox, another guy. Looks like from. Are you from Jamaica, Fox? Mohamed Buhara. Mahrez is going to Madrid. Well, we don't know Mohamed. Madrid. I think Madrid need to sell Bale. Bale is costing Madrid a hell of a lot of money. He'll cost them over £30 million in wages. They'll have his amortization, which will go through the accounts. I don't know what that'll be, but at least so Bale's from 65 to 70 million euros. It's too much. Sorry, in each season he could be costing them 36, 37, even 40 million euros a season. That's how he hits the accounts. It's just too much. Jamaican in Toronto. Hey, Fox. All right, brother. I hope you're well. I can't have Mahrez leaving. If he plays, he will get assists and goals. Absolutely, I agree, Haj. I totally agree. But what if it was if Riyad Mahrez leaves, we buy Koulibaly and Houssam Aouar. Let's say if Mahrez left for 60 million quid, and we went out and bought Koulibaly straight away, Houssam Aouar straight away, would that be worth it? Here's the question. Financially, Mahrez in the books would give us about 30 quid profit, we'd save on his amortization, which would go towards Koulibaly. It wouldn't be so bad. Hi, John. Hope you're well. And using Koulibaly, it seems like it's been going on all summer long. The only news is that Koulibaly wants to move. Zinchenko might be. He's been rumoured to be included in the move, and Zinchenko's agent said we'll be happy to talk if his name comes up in this deal. Mahrez is 29 and 30. We can't get a lot from him. It just depends if somebody wants him. Fabrics, he's got 3 years left on his contract, so he ain't going to go anywhere cheap. So if Real Madrid coming in offer 60 million, he'll want to go. I guarantee it. Chris, Shaqiri and Origi are perfect players for us who are happy to come off the bench. Still think we need one more to cover the front three. I probably agree with that overall. Bro, it's Momo. Don't sell Mahrez when he's in his prime. GRX will be disappointing for his Mahrez directness. I would say 55 at least, says Faris. Look, selling Mahrez gets us a profit, let's say 24 to 25 million quid if we sell him for 60. And that actually will cover the amortization for Koulibaly. Let's say Koulibaly cost us 60 million quid. It covers his amortization. Let's say we get Houssem for 50 on a 5-year contract. His amortization is 10. So 10 from him. Koulibaly is 12. That's 22 million. We got a profit of 24. So we're in positive territory. It's all of the wages that come into it. So I actually reckon if we sold Mahrez for about 60 million, got Koulibaly net effect actually in the books is going to be he's going to be not much. Might be a couple of million quid. Mr. Rope, I don't want that. I don't want Sancho. 29 isn't all. Look how much Napoli demanding from 29 Koulibaly. Absolutely, bro. It's Mono. Exactly. We bought Mahrez for about 60 million. Right, guys, I think that's me lot. Thanks for coming on tonight. Yeah, Hassan Ali is sick and tired away from Koulibaly. Yeah, it is frustrating. I mean, it is a bit anticlimactic for us guys because we haven't got any footy this weekend, men's team, and we're just waiting for it to start. Right, guys, I'm going to hit the road. I've got another video interview to do, and I've got podcast tonight as well. I'm going to do all the editing. I'm going to edit at least 2 videos tonight, and then tomorrow I've got another interview. Sweden. So lots to go. Guys, thank you so much for coming on, guys. And please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's free. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And have a look at the videos we put out today. We've done 2. I did one with Colin, and that tells you a bit about finances and how these things can work. And I've got another one coming out hopefully tomorrow with Colin, which is a lot longer, going into more depth. And if you want to listen to some talk about women's football, then there's a video out on that as well. Guys, take care, and hopefully we'll see you around tomorrow. See you around, Blue.